Okay, 49ers make headlines today. They are finalizing a trade for Eagles pass rusher Bryce Huff. Um, this thing's all but done. The trade can't be processed until after June 1st. But at this moment in time, the trade apparently appears to be all but completed. Both sides are working to make the deal happen, and Bryce Huff has already reworked his contract to help facilitate the trade. So, Bryce Huff, 27 years old, he's going to be reunited with Robert Saleh in San Francisco, who was his coach with the New York Jets. He's a former undrafted rookie. He had a breakout year in 2023 when he recorded a career-high 10 sacks despite not starting in a single game that season. And then obviously, Bryce Huff spent just 1 year with the Eagles after signing a 3-year deal last year with the team. He made 6 regular season starts, but an injury sidelined him to only 5 games, and he was also inactive during the Super Bowl as well. So, number one, Bryce Huff coming to San Francisco means he's going to be joining a revamped 49ers defense that is clearly slated to feature up to 4 new starters on the defensive line. The 49ers are in a situation where, yeah, they drafted Mykel Williams. Yeah, they have Nick Bosa, but they need to continue to hammer the trenches, right? Like, they did it in the draft. Alfred Collins, CJ West, Mykel Williams. But this is a deal that helps the 49ers in so many different ways. Number one, Bryce Huff is a speed rusher. Bryce Huff could very well be the best pass rusher opposite of Nick Bosa that the 49ers have ever had. Yeah, they had Dee Ford. Bryce Huff reminds me a lot of Dee Ford in the way that he rushes the passer with speed. This is a very good trade for the 49ers. A mid-round pick, I'm expecting it to be a 4th-round pick, a 4th to 5th-round pick. The 49ers have a lot of compensatory picks in 2026, hence to why they probably sent a mid-round pick to Philadelphia to make this trade happen. But again, you go back to the familiarity between Bryce Huff and Saleh. I think the familiarity there is probably a big reason as to why this trade could end up being a pretty big win for the 49ers. Again, in 2023, he tallied 10 sacks, wasn't even in the starting lineup, and again, it all took place under Robert Saleh. I can almost guarantee you this was a move that Saleh wanted. I'm sure that this was majority of his idea. I think the 49ers, knowing that they're revamping their defensive line, I think they were probably all for it. And again, Saleh is the head coach of the defense. So, anything that Saleh wants or anything that Saleh says defensively probably likely goes. And that's, I'm sure that's probably what happened here to some degree. I think the risk appears to be absolutely worth the possible reward that the 49ers could get from Bryce Huff. As long as he can stay healthy, I don't see why he's not an immediate big-time factor on this defensive line. And I think it also gives Mykel Williams a lot more time to develop into, the pro that he's going to be. And I'm not saying that the 49ers are going to start Bryce Huff over Mykel Williams, but I think getting a guy like Bryce Huff will take some pressure off of Mykel Williams. I think that could be an elite 1-2 punch opposite of Nick Bosa. I'm a big fan of this. I am a big fan of this. I definitely think he was due for a fresh start. He didn't do too much with Philadelphia. I definitely think he's headed to a team in the 49ers that clearly feels that he can make a difference on their defense going into 2025. So, again, it's a mid-round pick going to Philly for Bryce Huff. I think both sides, this is a good trade. I think Bryce Huff needed to get out of Philadelphia to kind of, resurrect his career. I think San Francisco, with the newly revamped D line and the young defensive line that they're going to have in 2025, I think it's a perfect spot to give him an opportunity to kind of get back up on his feet and play at a high level like he did in 2023 under Robert Saleh. So big fan of this trade. This could be a high reward for the 49ers, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Again, man, I think if Bryce Huff can play like he did in 23 or anywhere close, he could very well be the best pass rusher opposite of Nick Bosa that the Niners have ever had. So I'm interested to see what happens there. It's clearly an exciting trade. It gives the 49ers another pass rusher, and he's only 27. We'll see what happens. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. As always, go Niners. I'll see you guys in the next one.